plastics, soda cans, and all types of waste are being spread. Even green technology is harming the environment. I want to focus on a small portion, which is solar panels. You can find a link in the description talking about dark sides of them. But the solution is solar turbines. Before we start, I want to note that in this video we're gonna look at 3D models and such and just explain the working principle. But in part 2, which is gonna be uploaded to our channel soon, we're gonna build them in real life. To create this masterpiece, we're gonna need 16 soda cans and at least 4 plastic bottles. At the moment, you're looking at the turbine. It's made up of 4 containers, 4 at the top and 4 at the bottom. But what are these mini containers made up of? Are they just regular containers? No, of course not. To understand this, we're gonna need to preview them in cross-section. By the way, if you're wondering, I 3D modeled these in Blender, but I didn't have time to render them, so now we're previewing it in Tinkercad. There is a lens which is not visible in the picture that focuses light on one point, and that point is on the top of the container. The top of the container is painted black so it heats up quickly, and then the heat is transferred through the stick. The stick makes the water boil, which creates steam. Steam comes out of the nozzle with high pressure, and the nozzle is shaped like that. The nozzle gets narrower, which creates more laminar flow, which in turn turns the efficiency up. There's also a tube which is sticking out. That's the motor. When the containers run out of water, the pump is gonna pump in more water so it can work even more. For the pump to do that automatically, we can either use Arduino or 555 timer. Now we can move on to the lens. Okay, so here's the drill. We're gonna need positive meniscus lens, a couple of them, made from plastic bottles. So here's the process of them getting made. As you can see, an average bottle has these indentations. We're gonna need to get rid of them to make the lens. There's a couple ways of doing this, but personally I use sparkling water to do this. Basically, we're gonna add the water to the bottle, close the lid, and heat the water up. As the water boils, it's gonna create pressure, which is gonna push the walls outward. But also, heat makes plastic soft, which makes the bottle smooth. Even though it looks small in the picture, in reality it isn't. In fact, it's 1 liter bottles. We're gonna cut the top and the bottom, and then cut it in half, as you can see in the picture. Cut it in half again, and then place perpendicular to each other, which is gonna give us the positive meniscus we're looking for. And by the way, we're gonna need at least 3 of them. As you can see, we're now looking at the overall structure of the turbine, and when the lenses makes the water heat up, that creates a torque which is used to spin the turbine. But there's a problem with that. It has very high torque but not high RPM, but we can fix that with using a gearbox before connecting it to a generator, and that is gonna fix the problem very easily. And when water is about to end in the container, this pump is gonna pump in more water.